COMEX gold is higher, hits new record high on solid investor demand. So that's ongoing today, where the futures are up, but the gold a few hours ago was down. I got to talk to Ted in a minute. So we've got some of that news here. Also, oil surges above $90 a barrel, and they're talking about over $3 an average soon in the country. So that inflation is starting to kick back in. And notice, oils or gas is $1.50 a gallon 5, 6, 7 years ago. It goes up to $3. You get angry. Goes down to $2. You feel like you're getting a good deal. Goes to $3.50. Goes back to $2.50. That's psychological warfare. Then it goes to $5, then it goes down to $3, then it goes to $6, and it goes down to $5, and you're incrementally accepting the inflation. Let's briefly go to Ted Anderson and then to Max Keiser. Ted, give us the latest on gold and silver prices right now and what you're watching in the market.
Well, right now, silver had gone up just incredibly today, Alex. I mean, $30.73 at the peak.
Wow.
When I seen silver hit 30.10, I was like, whoa, it just like broke through 30 like nobody's business. Now we're almost at $31 an ounce. Gold hit a high today too of $1,432.50. A little bit of profit taking later on in the day, but the markets aren't closed yet. But if you want to be getting in on silver or gold, man, I tell you, Alex, at $97 for 3 a-year videos and 3 silver dollars, that isn't going to last very long. Man, I cannot hold it at that price. That price is got to go up over $100 for that same deal. And I'm holding it because I want people to get your videos. And what an attractive buy now. 3 silver dollars like that. I mean, you just can't, I don't think you can beat that anywhere. Not at $97, and this is delivered too with your videos. I mean, the other thing that I'm holding back in price, which is also going to increase, and it's just a matter of time. I mean, I have to go out and buy the darn stuff. Are those Walking Liberty halves at $12.84? I mean, that is such a great buy. And the other thing that I added to the mix.
So we're talking about less than $26 for an ounce of silver when silver is at over 30, so folks cannot find that anywhere else at that price.
Yeah, right now at this particular time, that Walking Liberty is going to increase in price. The other thing,
so is this the last day because you've been holding it over?
Well, you know, Alex, I want people to get silver, honestly. I mean, that's why I have that video price down too. We also have the what I call the survival pack, which is 1,000 dimes. I mean, a dime is a small fraction of silver, and you can use that to spend anywhere you need to.
Yeah, these are the pre-what, 66 dimes?
No, pre-1964.
Yeah.
And that is also just another reason, another buy that is.
And how much can you cash one of those in for?
Well, the dimes are worth about 21 cents a piece. So, I mean, that gives you an idea of what the value is there. I mean, it's just a great way to be getting involved in the silver market, and you can find them right on your website.
All right, we're almost out of time. I got to go to Max Keiser, Ted, the owner of Genesis and Midas Resources. The best deals out there you're going to find. His regular deals are great, but these radio specials, I mean, just do the math. These are absolutely incredible deals, and he's got it there on hand. Almost everybody else has run out weeks ago or has huge premiums. Ted's got great deals on gold and silver. Just ask them for the list of radio specials in gold and silver. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. Give Midas Resources a call today, 800-686-2237. Ted Anderson, thank you so much for popping in with us.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me up, Alex.
You bet. Amazing. I wanted to briefly today bring up Max Keiser because Max has really been promoting the fact, of course, the inventor of the Hollywood Stock Exchange system and journalist with BBC and RT, you name it. MaxKeiser.com. Obviously, for those that don't know, I just want to let you in on the fact he's been flogging the idea of buy silver, crash J.P. Morgan. I know he's a big supporter of the Gold Antitrust Committee, but GATA's treasurer put out a little article a few days ago saying, look, what Max is doing is positive. It'll show that they're manipulating the silver market down. It'll probably drive it up, but that J.P. Morgan can cover this. So I wanted to get your response to that article and see if you disagree with them.
Yeah, hi, Alex. Cover it with what? What are they going to cover that with?
Well, most of the market, they say, is covered in cash.
Yeah. So if they increase the cash supply to cover their liabilities, what happens to the value of the cash?
Yeah, but we're talking about trillions of cash being pumped out a month, so $3.5 billion pumped out. I mean, I'm not poo-pooing what you're saying. I'm just throwing it out there that overall it's positive.
No, I'm talking about $3.5 billion. Listen, you have to, the over-the-counter silver market is published by the Bank of International Settlements is $200 billion is dedicated over-the-counter short silver contracts. J.P. Morgan is half of that. That's $100 billion. That's 3.3 billion ounces of silver they are short. Every dollar silver goes up.
Okay, but just last week that I misunderstood. What's the $3.5 billion then?
What's that?
What's the 3.3 or 3.5 billion?
Every dollar silver goes up. The J.P. Morgan sit with 3.3 billion on their balance sheet. Every dollar for silver. Silver goes up $10. There's 33 billion to J.P. Morgan. Their whole market cap's 150 billion.
Okay, so you're saying, and I guess that would mean that GATA article is wrong because they're only looking at the 3 billion or so. Please continue.
Well, yeah, I talked with Chris Powell of GATA about this, and a couple of other people have made a comment that J.P. Morgan will be bailed out. They're bailed out with what? U.S. dollars. If you keep bailing it, what's happening to the dollars becoming diluted? Why are people buying gold and silver? Because the U.S. keeps bailing out banks.
Well, just to be clear, Max, I had you on to promote this, and I mean, I think you're a great guy. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just injecting debate into this. Please continue.
No, I'm just pointing out the obvious. If you cover your short with paper money, the value of that money is debased even more.
Well, it certainly exposes that they're suppressing the price of silver.
Yeah, well, why is the price going up? Because everybody around the world is buying gold and silver, in particular silver. Since I was on your show when we started this Google bomb 3.5 weeks ago, it's up 11%. That's an annualized return of over 100%. It was up earlier today 13% from when I was on your show. So this idea that you've got GATA, Gold Antitrust Action Committee, simultaneously working to expose the shorts in the silver market and then kind of hedging themselves a bit, saying that, well, we are trying to, J.P. Morgan and HSBC are now the subject of an investigation for manipulating the market as part of a lot of the work from GATA and Ted Butler and all the work that's been done. And now there's an open investigation for manipulating the silver market. And so he, I think, is fearful of a collapsed banking system. He's expressed to me privately that he's afraid that if this thing takes off, that banks around the world will collapse.
Oh.
He's fearful of that. And my point is...
Well, the banks are collapsing our society, so you know what? They want to take me down, I'll take them down with me.
Well, that's my point. We're going to go down anyway. So, Chris Powell at GATA is trying to have his, cake and eat it too. He wants to expose the fraudsters, but he doesn't want too much damage to the banking system. My point is that we've got to take down these banking cartel because they are holding us hostage.
Yeah, we've got to get on the offense, and you know what? Justice be done, may the heavens fall.
And people are buying this thing all over the world. As you see, this thing's gone viral. We launched it on your show with the Google bomb on the 11th of November. The silver is climbing. I'm getting. I'll do a press release with you. The company hasn't released this yet. There's a company in the Pacific Northwest that's going to market. They put an initial order in for 10,000 pure silver coins to crash J.P. Morgan buy silver. That they'll be available. Now, my involvement is zero. I have no consideration at all with the company. I said you have free use of my name and my image. You have free use. If you feel that this is going to help the cause, then so be it. So they're going to launch a global silver coin. It's going to be...
Well, you should just tell all the silver coin stampers to go with buy silver, crash J.P. Morgan.
I have. I released my name and image for anyone to go forward with a campaign like this. I just got an email from a group in Poland that's now using this campaign as part of their thing. And I said, look, we've all got to be in this together, but I have no tie to these things at all economically.
Wow, if this is successful, which it looks like it's starting to be, nothing succeeds like success. It's pretty scary that this radio show would be the Cape Canaveral launch pad to fire Max Keiser into the heart of the New World Order.
Right, and to crush J.P. Morgan. And I want to bring up an interesting point. Actually, Stacy, who's got really good contacts in London, where Julian Assange is currently located, she was talking to her contacts over there. She's very close with the people over at the Frontline Club, which is the premier journalist club in London, and they know Julian very well, and they know what's going on. She has great contacts. And she was pointing out to me something very, very interesting. You know, basically, the banks lynched Julian Assange when they cut off his Visa card, his MasterCard, his PayPal account. We've seen here the first example of an electronic banking lynching. They lynched him. They pushed him completely.
No, it shows the global control grid. Please continue.
Yeah, that's exactly what it does show. That any of these credit card companies, they don't have to go through the rule of law or the legal system at all. They just take you off the grid. MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, they simply said, you're no longer on the grid. And this is why today, and this is what the talk in London is today, today we're seeing relative strength in the dollar. Because today, for the paper cartel, for the plastic pushers, the Visa, the MasterCard, the debt pushers, this was a victory today to put Julian Assange in front of the magistrate.
And he's going to jail because a feminist didn't like the fact that he had sex with her afterwards because she was jilted. I mean, so now in Europe, you go to jail if a woman has consensual sex with you and she's a feminist because they consider all sex rape. Boy, I tell you, these are liberals. Keep me away from them. Max Keiser, stay there. All right, I want to get the rest of Max Keiser's take on the Internet 9/11. They're openly saying they want a Patriot Act for the Internet, the end of freedom, the end of mainstream radio, TV, being able to have your own opinion. It's all being announced. They're really trying to sell it to us. We've got these other key videos up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Walmart invasion, part of larger DHS takeover of America. We've got the accompanying article on Infowars.com. Very important you get this out to everyone you know. They're ready to hear the truth. There's another longer video that Aaron just put together of an after-show rant I did yesterday. I was so upset. It's Alex Jones' rant, DHS and TSA invading America. And so that video's up on Infowars.com and the Alex Jones YouTube channel. All right, Max Keiser.
Yeah.
What's your overall view of who's really behind Wikileaks? I think he's been hung out to dry. I mean, regardless of who you believe he really works for, they have now leaked him a bunch of cables that are just internal propaganda for the government. And now it looks like they're going to use him as the kind of new Internet bin Laden to take our free speech.
He's an info warrior. He's a hacker. And the hackers are uniting. You know, the hackers are getting together and they're going to shut down PayPal, shut down the bank in Switzerland that denied him his account. The hackers are organizing. It's an info war. You know, you started the info war, Alex Jones. Now it's being taken to a new level. You've got an army of hackers. And Julian Assange is basically, he's a hacker. That's where his background is in hacking. And, you know, he's hacked his way into the truth. And now the truth is being displayed through WikiLeaks, and it's embarrassing people like Hillary Clinton and people in the Justice Department who don't like to see their dirty laundry aired in public, and it's made a mockery of their so-called diplomatic efforts. And, of course, they want to shut them down. But it doesn't matter what they do to them because all these things are hidden in the web, in these Easter eggs that are going to pop open at any time. And if they go after them, then the mother load of information hits. They haven't even gone through 1% of the cable leaks, and behind that is the huge banking leaks, which are going to expose all the dirty deals at Bank of America and J.P. Morgan.
So you think it's spin that he's hooked in with Soros, and this is a global destabilization program?
I do, yeah. I consider him to be basically the king of the hackers.
Well, I know this. He doesn't deserve to be held with no bail for admittedly having sex with a consensual woman with no condom, even though, I mean, this is insane.
Look, the Icelandic government has a warrant for the arrest of their bankers hiding out in London who stole billions of dollars. Was there any action on them? Well, how come those guys aren't before the magistrate?
Here's the deal. I put out leaked stuff all the time that people have a right to know. I don't deserve to be held without bail. Look, if we don't stand with Assange, I don't care who he is or what's really going on. We all hang separate. And so I want to say here, I've had guests on with every view of him, good and bad and ugly. I want to say I'm standing with WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. Even if they're a disinfo op, the globalists have built them as a straw man to destroy our free speech. We must stand with Assange.
Look at the information itself. What is it actually in the information that you could point to that smells or looks like what you're suggesting in terms of a disinformation op? All the information that's coming out is just embarrassing the powers that you always talk about, the New World Order powers are extremely embarrassed by these revelations.